participation, so give it up. So my name is Travis, and I'm going to talk about giant pandas. So everyone, if you know what a giant panda is, please put your hand in the air. All right, now, keep them up. If you've actually seen a panda in real life, whether in the wild or a zoo, keep your hand up, and if not, put your hand down. Wow, a lot of you. All right, awesome. So as you notice that a giant panda is a very popular and iconic figure in today's society, but less of you have actually seen a panda than just know of a panda in real life. So, when I'm asked what my favorite animal is, I always have responded with panda, but I didn't really know much about them. But after choosing a giant panda for this topic and researching them, I found that I am more well-versed and educated about the pandas themselves. So today, first, I would like to talk about their history and some facts about them. Then I will give some examples of their popularity in today's culture. And finally, I'm going to talk about their conservation attempts going on today to save the giant panda. So let's begin with some history and facts about these gentle beasts. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service document titled Giant Panda, in 1869, a French missionary and naturalist named Pierre Armand David was the first European to describe the giant panda. So, you can encounter giant pandas today, whether in zoos or in the central mountainous regions of central China. Giant pandas are very easily to notice because they are covered in white fur, with the exception of having black fur around their eyes, ears, and around their front and hind legs. They can grow up to be 6 feet long and up to 350 pounds. Although they are considered in the domain of carnivora, their diet consists of 95 to 99% of bamboo, with the other 5 to 1% consisting of small animals, fruit, or other vegetables. Unlike bears, they do not go into long periods of hibernation, and they cannot stand on their hind legs. They usually are very solitary and do not travel in packs unless they are mating or a mother with her cub. Speaking of the cubs, there's only 2 to 3 days that they are able to be pregnant per year, which will they mate and then they'll leave. And the cubs are either born 1 or 2 at a time. Unfortunately, the mother can only care for 1 cub at a time, so if 2 are born in the wild, she will choose the stronger one, and the second one's left to fend for themselves and usually die. This cub will stay with her mother for 1 to 3 years before leaving out to be on his solitary own. Giant pandas live up to 15 years in the wild, and they can live over 20 years in captivity. Despite being a rare animal, giant pandas are very popular in society today. The World Wildlife Fund states, for the WWF, the panda has a special significance since it has been the organization's symbol since 1961 when the WWF was formed. And if you didn't think they put their money where their mouth was, the actual website is wwf.panda.org. Also, in 2008, when the Summer Olympics were held in Beijing, China, with the whole world watching them, they selected that the giant panda be a mascot for the Olympics, with 5 different characters, all with white fur on their stomachs and multiple colored paws and on their eyes, easily distinguishable as a giant panda. Some of you may have seen the animated movie which stars a giant panda as the main character, called Kung Fu Panda, which made $215 million worldwide, has spurned on a Kung Fu Panda 2 and a Kung Fu Panda 3 coming out shortly, and numerous child cartoons and short shows starring the characters of those movies. Also, in the video game world, the popular online game World of Warcraft released an expansion called Mists of Pandaria, which features a new race which resembles, you guessed it, a giant panda. Unfortunately, however popular these animals may be, they are still classified as an endangered species. The IUCN, which stands for the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, says that present best estimates indicate a total wild population between 1,000 and 2,000, referring to giant pandas. Around 300 pandas live in captivity. They have been considered endangered since 1990. The reason they are endangered is for constant habitat loss and fragmentation of the population, because as China's population has risen and more farming has been needed, the lower lands have been converted to farms, so the pandas have been fractured into staying on the higher mountain ranges where they are in China. Poaching was a problem back in the day, but now China has put on very strict penalties for poaching, which can be laid up to death sentence if you are convicted of poaching pandas. So the World Wildlife Fund and the Chinese government have been working together to help save this animal, and the World Wildlife Fund website tells us that by mid-2005, the Chinese government had established over 50 reserves, protecting more than 10,400 square kilometers and over 45% of the remaining giant panda habitat. Hopefully these actions to help conserve this animal will be enough to save them from extinction. So, in conclusion, I hope you learned something about the giant panda today. Whether it's a random fact to share with a niece or nephew next time you're at the zoo, or maybe next time you're with them watching morning cartoons. Be happy knowing that both the World Wildlife Fund and the Chinese government are putting their effort towards conserving this national treasure. So, the next opportunity you have to see this majestic beast, I hope you take it. Thank you.